Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has given an emotional account of watching his father die from cancer in support of a bid to legalise euthanasia. But his deputy is seeking to scuttle the proposed scheme and has told Parliament MPs should not reflect solely on their personal experiences when considering the bill. After describing harrowing suicides by the terminally ill, Mr Andrews told Parliament about watching his own father die in palliative care and how it shifted his perspective. The rails of the bed went up, pain relief was increased, treatment was reduced, a stillness took hold and this giant, unbreakable man slipped away, Mr Andrews said. Only when you've experienced something like that, only when you've seen someone you love succumb to, feebly and painfully, to what some people might even describe as a good death, you start to think what on earth must qualify as a bad death. Soon after Mr Andrews' heartfelt plea, witnessed by his tearful wife in the public gallery, Deputy Premier James Merlino gave an equally passionate speech against the bill. Mr Merlino said the proposed framework was not safe because the 68 protections are 68 things that can go wrong. He labelled the bill state-sanctioned suicide and said more resourcing was needed for palliative care. We must not solely reflect on our own personal experiences, we must consider the impact this will have on our society, Mr Merlino said. He foreshadowed an amendment which would delay voting on the bill until concerns are addressed, including clarification on the lethal substance, and safeguards for people seeking the scheme while suffering treatable depression. Parliament is set for a marathon sitting in order to debate and vote on the bill by the end of the week. Mr Andrews and Health Minister Jill Hennessy argue the bill is faultless and will not support any amendments. However, many MPs are still undecided, including the Nationals' Emma Keeley, who was lead speaker for the coalition. Both sides have granted MPs a conscience vote on the bill, which includes harsh penalties for misuse and has sparked passionate campaigning from advocates, opponents, drivers, religious groups and the public. Among the opposition, leader Matthew Guy will not vote for the bill, but his police spokesman Edward O'Donoghue is campaigning in favour after he investigated the issue as part of a cross-party committee. The bill would set up a scheme accessible only to terminally ill patients with less than 12 months to live, who are suffering unbearable pain. They would have to make 3 clear requests and be assessed by 2 senior doctors, including a specialist in their illness. All lower house MPs were given the chance to speak on the bill, however some declined. AAP